Hold on tight, spider monkey.
As if you could outrun me!
It's more than some crush, Bella.
How? I don't even know what you're saying. How?
I'm gonna help you enjoy this point.
Hold on tight, spider monkey.
Every
I
time.
hope you're okay with your disappointment.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Welcome.
Well, welcome back. Sorry for that extra long intro this week. You can thank Tyree.
I do bar mitzvahs too.
All right.
All right. Well, welcome back. This is my Twilight Fantasy podcast with your free. Okay, I quit.
Free.
Free. Three. That's what I meant to say. Your three favorite, or maybe not favorite, Twilight bitches. Anna, Maya, and Tyree.
Whoop, whoop.
Hose
I'm
for
T Drizzy
Twilight.
though, so.
What?
Hose for Twilight.
Hose for Twilight.
Other than that, it's the chastity belt.
But we are back. This is now our 12th episode. We are going over chapter 12, but it's pretty big. I'm proud. We've been going this long, guys.
Me too, honestly.
Yeah. It's been really fun, and we've gained a lot of followers, and it's really exciting. So just keep sharing us and interacting with us on our Instagram. That's been fun too. But should we just go ahead and get right into it this week?
Yeah.
Because we really rambled last week.
A lot. But hopefully that was fun for some of our less intense Twilight listeners.
Yeah, some people are just like, if you go off the subject of Twilight, I will find you and I will kill you. We're like, oh, all
Here's
right.
my address.
Pull up.
Pull up.
Pull up, pull up, pull up, pull up.
Pull up, pull up, pull up.
All
So today we're talking about chapter 12, which is called Balancing.
Mm-hmm.
And I have the plot overview if we're ready for it.
I am ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me know if I'm mixing stuff up with the next chapter or if I'm leaving something out, because I didn't take these notes in the way I normally do, and also this is a very long overview for my normal length.
And should we just give a warning?
Yeah.
This is probably one of the most boring chapters
Yeah.
we will cover.
So this might be a quick one.
Yeah. But we will do our best.
Yes, as always.
So go for it, Maya.
Okay, so at the end of 11, we had Billy and Jacob Black over to watch the game. They kind of invited themselves over because their TV is broken. What's up?
Did they ever specify it's a baseball game, or did they just keep calling it the game?
I think it's just the game.
I think they just call it the game.
Love that. Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
sorry.
Are you... Well, maybe not, honestly. They might say it, but I just, wasn't reading for that detail.
I wasn't either, but I just remember in the book, the movies, they refer to the Mariners,
Yeah.
which are the Seattle team. Mm-hmm. Which makes sense, but I just only remember the game.
Yeah, I mean, I wrote it down as quote-unquote the game because I looked back through and couldn't find what game it was.
Okay, I'm sorry. I was just wondering.
I didn't look that hard, though, so...
Yeah.
Apologies if I've missed something super obvious. Bella then goes to make a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yum.
And Jacob questions her about who she was with in her car, or in the car. It was Edward's car when they pulled up. They laugh at Billy's superstition because he was acting super weird after recognizing Edward. Because they're both like, ha ha ha, vampires aren't real. Yeah, totally, they're not real. And then Bella, even though she has homework that she kind of wants to be doing, she watches the game with everyone because she's afraid Billy will tell Charlie who she was with if she leaves the room for too long, basically. And then after the game is over, Charlie questions Bella about the dance one more time before they go to bed. And the next morning, Bella is excited. The next day is that Saturday of the dance, and Bella has already been like, I'm not effing going multiple times. And she's super lit because she has plans with Edward the next day. So it's she wakes up, it's the morning, she's really excited. He tells her that he has to go hunting. Oh wait, no, I'm getting this confused, I think, with the next chapter, possibly.
No, this is
right.
Yeah.
He has to leave school early to go hunting.
So it's Friday still.
See, I think... So, okay. So it's not the next morning.
No, yeah, so...
It's not Saturday morning.
Billy and Jacob came Thursday evening.
Okay. So...
She wakes up Friday morning.
And she's still super excited because Edward's supposed to give her a ride to school.
Right.
And he says that he's going to go hunting that day, and so he won't be in biology, so they won't have, like, a super tense, like, sexually charged session of watching a movie in biology again.
They won't want to jump each other's bones for an hour.
Right. So the rest of the day passes, like, because she's barely present if Edward's not involved in the task.
Mm-hmm.
So after school, Bella sees that Edward has somehow... He gave her a ride to school, and he was like, I'm not going to let you walk home. And she's like, fucking good luck finding my car keys, because I'm pretty sure they're in a pair of my dirty pants in the laundry already. So how are you going to find that?
We know he sniffed that shit out.
Oh my god!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, he did.
And some other things, probably.
That's
not-
really fucking gross.
I saw like white chicks when they were like sniffing the girls' panties.
Gotta go. So that probably happened, but he ended up getting the truck back to the school for her, which she was really surprised to see. But she's kind of pleasantly surprised that she doesn't have to walk home, I think. And
that would have been so funny if she did.
Yeah.
You know, there would have been a whole chapter of just her bitching in
the
her
whole
head.
way home. And that would have been as interesting as this chapter. So, let's see. She wouldn't have to... Okay, so then she gets in and realizes that he left a note for her that says, be safe. And she is, like, weirdly entertained by this note and, like, keeps looking at it and reading it, like, as if she forgets what it says. It's 2 words, bro. And then she gets home and she tells her dad that she's decided not to go to Seattle, but will be out of the house doing errands all day, so he shouldn't feel guilty about his plans to go fishing. And he's like, okay, weird flex or whatever, but I'm still going to go fishing. And she's like, that's fine. Mm-hmm. And then the next morning actually is that Saturday of the dance. Right. And Edward vampire sprints over to her house at the usual time that he would have picked her up from school, but he doesn't want to, like, leave his car on the street or, like, in their driveway to raise any suspicions with the neighbors, so he just sprints there.
Vampire sprints or vampire plaps?
Vampire plaps, obviously. I don't think it's raining yet, but...
Oh, okay.
You know, he's a plapper. So Bella actually ends up driving them for the first time together. They go... He's giving her directions the whole time, and they go to this, like, hiking trail, and they walk for a few miles, and she's like, this is gonna suck. I'm so not into this at all. I don't like hiking. I don't like being outside. This and that.
Existing.
She's like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make it, like, 8 miles or whatever, and, but they get there eventually with no vampire magic.
Which, fuck that. If a guy took me to, as a date, an 8-mile hike in a dense forest...
And I'm wearing a sweater, like, no.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah. They were in the same thing, though. So
especially if he can sprint his way through with you on his back.
I'm not walking.
Yeah, so instead of revealing that he can vampire plap, that chapter ends with him, like, he's about to reveal himself as, like, a sparkly vampire.
Hell yeah.
In the light, in the meadow. And then that chapter ends, and actually, chapter 13 has all the interesting meat of their, like, first date.
Yeah.
So
we'll hold off.
Yeah. Even though that's all we really want to talk about.
Right. So, that was a good overview.
Thank you. It was a whole page long in my Twilight Fantasy merch notebook.
Hell yeah.
And I'm super cozy right now in my Twilight Fantasy podcast sweatshirt that I just got in the mail today.
I want to get one. It looks so good.
It's super cozy, very soft.
I like that color too.
Me too.
It's the same color. Yeah, while she's wearing a sweatshirt, I'm wearing my Twilight Fantasy baseball t-shirt. So.
And I'm wearing a Ghetto University sweatshirt.
I'll go get my other t-shirt if you want to throw it on. I think it's dirty.
Perfect.
I'm good.
Yeah, I'd love to wear that.
All right. Anyway, let's get into it. The only notes I have for this chapter are really stupid.
Yeah.
I didn't really go deep into anything.
Oh, I did.
Please do then, because there was nothing. There were like one or two things, but nothing that really just like. I really jumped out to me. Yeah. So, would you like to start, Maya?
Yeah, a couple things. So, by their like short conversation in the kitchen while she's making grilled cheese, Bella kind of reveals like super clearly that she just was using Jacob, and like her relationship to him is very much like her relationship to Mike, where she's like, I will use you as a pawn if it's convenient for me, but I don't care about you at all.
Right.
And that kind of pushed me more towards Team Edward, but also like Bella, that's so rude of her. Mm-hmm. So there's that. And then I also felt like Bella was manipulating Charlie a little bit on pages 241 and 251, where she's like lying to him basically.
Yeah.
Or just like not telling him the whole truth.
Right.
When there's not really any reason not to.
Right.
Maybe Charlie would have been like, I don't want you to go into the woods with this boy, like he's gonna knock you up or something. But I don't know, they just could have lied better. She could have, or I mean like, she could have said like, oh, I'm going on a date with Edward, but we're gonna go like see a movie or something.
Yeah, yeah.
And instead they go into the field.
Right.
Or like, I'm gonna go meet Edward's family because I'm interested in dating this boy, but instead of meeting his family, they go
to a
to the
field.
meadow.
She could have just said they're hiking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or like doing something outdoorsy.
I think if I were a junior in high school and I told my parents I was one-on-one going hiking with a dude, they would be like, you're definitely gonna go fuck in the woods. Right? Or no? Is that out of pocket?
Yeah.
I did that in high school.
Yeah. I think that was a pretty common thing to do in high school.
Not fuck in the woods. I mean...
Okay, well now we all know each other a little bit. Okay. Anyway, my point with that, I'm sorry. So sorry. My point with that was that I don't think that would have been a super great, exciting thing for my parents to hear. Those were my plans. Instead of going to a dance, like, oh no, I didn't ask a boy to the dance. I just wanted to, like, have some one-on-one time with him, like, away from everyone's eyes.
Yeah.
So, whatever.
Or she could have just said, like, hey, me and, it's like Edward asked me out, but he said it's a surprise. So she could say she doesn't know where she's going. Mm-hmm. Like, that could have been super simple solution.
Yeah, totally. It just felt, like, unnecessarily dishonest, and, like, she doesn't really respect Charlie either, again, for no reason that I understand.
Right. I think, piggybacking on that, on 241, I originally wrote that I like this moment, but I like it in the movie, I think, because I read Charlie as Charlie, the guy who plays Charlie in the movies, just kind of stumbling his way through this whole dad stuff, but he really loves her, but doesn't know how to necessarily connect with her or whatever. But after you saying that, like, just unnecessarily lying to him, and to get away with, like, her getting away with that lie, she kind of tells him whatever he wants to hear. Mm-hmm. So, how he's, like, concerned, how he's saying, I'll cancel my plans to stay here with you. I feel like I leave you alone. And she just says, Dad, you're doing a great job.
Yeah.
And I smiled, hoping my relief didn't show.
Yeah.
And then she says, I've never minded being alone. I'm too much like you. That,
like, kind of stings a little bit to read, because it's like, he really has done nothing to you, and why can't you just... It hurt me to see that she's letting her whole life get so wrapped up in this one dude, to the point where it's kind of, like, beginning to damage her relationship with her dad, which is...
But it was already damaged.
It was damaged,
with
but
no
why?
Context.
And it's kind of, like, preventing her from seeing that Charlie's a cool person and like they have a lot in common and they could actually spend time together maybe, other than her just awkwardly eating dinner with him or whatever.
Yeah. That's why I think they kind of fixed that in the movies.
Yeah.
Which I really like, because this moment that they described in the book happens when they're at the diner. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you remember. And she's, he just kind of mentions, like, you should go out, you should do stuff. I feel like I leave you at home too much. And she's not rude at all, given we don't get her inner monologue in the book.
Yeah.
But, like we do in the book, I mean, but she says, I don't know, like, I don't mind being alone. I'm kind of like you in that way. Mm-hmm. And he kind of takes it as, like, yeah.
Right.
We're kind of the same person, and, you know.
And that's a much nicer moment.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer. Yes, Tyree.
Okay. Sorry, your couch scared me. I had noted it.
You mean the one you've been sitting on for the past hour and a half?
Yeah, my bad. It says, because I have like the Bellas assuring Charlie, although for her own personal gain, but like right before that, I just like remembered like, you know, I remembered when I said, I said, why is Jacob allowed in the house now? And then I said, isn't like Bella's house on Cullen territory?
It wasn't. Was it ever like that?
Yeah, remember it was in Eclipse when he said he wasn't allowed to go in her house.
No, he's allowed to go in there, but he's not allowed to defend her there.
Okay.
So they can't like be aggressive or act on anything in the other's territory, but they can be on it.
Okay.
I thought that vampires weren't allowed on werewolf territory.
Yeah, he
period.
wasn't allowed to go
okay.
there.
I think they're not allowed on wolf territory. Wolves are allowed on, well, because it's technically all the wolf territory, right?
But they can't be like on
But
Quiet. I'm so sorry. I'm never going to say that right. They can't be on their reservation, can they?
I don't know. I feel like that's kind of messy.
Yeah, it is.
But I think he's allowed there. He just can't.
Well, he doesn't even know yet, so.
He doesn't know yet. He just has seen the pretty girl that was nice to him at the beach.
Bitch.
Yeah, really. That actually, I mean, that's like so cheap. Like that, I hate that. It makes me feel dirty, like by proxy.
Yeah, it's rude.
Oh,
It's
like,
knowingly leading someone on.
and I have a quote, like when she was talking about how she was listening into their, like into the adults' conversation, and she said Jacob chattered at me, like she wasn't listening to anything he was saying. I was just like, that is so rude.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like I said in the last episode, she's not very attuned to other people's feelings.
It's like she doesn't care.
She doesn't. Or, I mean, at least she's not ever described as caring towards another person.
Yeah.
It's usually just how, like, their feelings and the way they're acting is inconveniencing her.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's shitty.
I think so too. But, to change gear a little bit, I may have said this in a previous, like a couple weeks ago, but I'll say it again. I think it's interesting that Edward has asked Bella so many questions about every aspect of her life, from, you know, her favorite color, what she missed about her home in Arizona, about her family, all that kind of stuff. But she only asked him about vampire stuff. On page 244, as late as page 244 in this book, she says something about Emmett, I think. I'd peek quickly behind me at his family. They sat staring off in different directions, exactly the same as the first time I'd seen them. Only now there were four. Their beautiful bronze-haired brother sat across from me, his golden eyes troubled. So that was like a pretty inconsequential thing that she said, but brother was the word that stuck out to me because she, like, still knows so little about Edward's personal life and his family and all of that, like, the actual, like, day-to-day stuff. She knows a lot about what it means for him to be a vampire, not even about his history so much, but she, like, still has never asked if they're, like, actually siblings or, like, what's going on there.
Yeah.
Not yet. So I just thought that was interesting that she kind of even doesn't show that much care for Edward as a person. She's, like, obsessed with him in a way and wants to be near him, but won't ask him, like, what's your favorite color?
Right.
You know? If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Even though she claims to hate being asked these questions.
Right.
And
Everyone loves talking about themselves.
Yeah. We've gone over this several times.
And how can you claim you're in love with somebody if you like know, like diddly squat about them?
Diddly squat. Precisely. But also, I made a note: asking someone a million rapid fire questions isn't a normal or cute way to get to know them.
Normal or cute?
No, neither of those
That's
things.
not cute.
So also, there's on page 245, right next door. Edward has like kind of said this a couple times, but he returns to it. I don't understand kind of what Edward sees in Bella still, but he says things like, "You don't see yourself clearly. Like everyone's obsessed with you. Like, what is it that other people are seeing?"
Nothing. He's like, "You're so interesting. You never choose. Like, you always go the other way than I expect you to." I'm like,
you probably don't know each other that well, then.
The only thing I can say about her is that she's irrational.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the only thing that like makes her stand out.
But to me, I really feel like there's something more here. Like, I feel like Bella is supposed to be portraying a type of person.
Yeah.
But like,
it's not being described.
Yeah, it's not being described.
Yeah.
So I'm curious what other people what they can make of that.
I guess that'll come from Midnight Sun, maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Like the allure of Bella, but I ain't seeing it.
Yeah. Hopefully, that would be so great. Like, to see what her appeal is. It'd be fun, like, I don't know.
So, yeah, a couple weeks ago I posted on our Instagram, like, if people are interested in us reading Midnight Sun, and if they are, when we should read it, and people mostly said now.
Yeah.
I think maybe we should wait until we're done with Twilight.
Yeah, I think we should at least wait. Tyree, that's picking up. Sorry. But I think we should at least wait until we're done with this book. But I don't necessarily want to push New Moon off. I don't know. Right. What do you guys think?
I don't know. I didn't know if I was going to, like, read it or if I was going to, like, shoop it or, like, spark note it or, like...
Shoop it.
Well, we should still try to get it printed.
Yeah, I really like to. It might be a little bit expensive.
Okay. We should figure out how much that is.
Yeah,
but I'd be willing to chip in for that.
To do it.
Mm-hmm. What?
So I just asked my mom to do it. Even though she was really keen on not giving me those markers, so might not print out Midnight Sun.
That's okay.
Wait, she wouldn't give you expo markers?
No, and then she was like, "Why do you need them?" And then I was just like, "For work, that should be in your budget." And I'm like,
"What budget?"
I'm like, "We don't have one of those." And then she's like, "Well, that doesn't sound like my problem. I don't want to take from the company." I'm like, No. I'm like, "Don't act like you didn't used to take pens and pencils for when I had to go to school." And like notebooks and bullcrap like that. So you just can't give me a couple of expo markers. And she's like, "Tyree just wouldn't be right." I'm like, "So now we're determining what's right and wrong." All right.
Yikes.
Yeah, I need to get more this week. Red and black aren't doing it for me.
No.
We need
the whole variety. What happened to that whole box of colors you had?
I ran out of the color. Mm. And that pack was like $12, so I don't really want to buy another one.
I have a pack of expo markers at my house that I got for my whiteboard that I haven't hung up yet because I'm not allowed to go drill holes in the wall. So.
Get command strips.
Yeah, command hooks are actually super lit.
Yeah.
How much do they cost?
They're so cheap.
Yeah. If you're hanging one thing, it's not a big deal.
Yeah. It's like maybe $7.
I was looking forward to like 3.
But
maybe
I mean,
2. How
heavy is it?
Yeah,
it's not that heavy.
Then it might be like 3 or 4.
Content.
Stonks.
Damn it.
If you know how much command strips cost, email us at mytwilightfantasypodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
God, this is so lame. I know I've talked about how I want to get it. Are you, Mick, kidding me?
I'm sorry. My mic
Pull
fell
it
off the
together.
table. I'm trying.
Oh my god, ow.
Did that click register?
Yeah. That just like popped in my ear.
I'm sorry.
Did you feel that?
I did not, but the headphones weren't in my ears yet. If you can't stand the audio of this podcast, but you love our content, please consider giving to our Patreon, because our first goal is better mics. And a better setup in general.
Our first goal is to blow up and act like I don't know nobody.
That's the secret plan. But the plan that we tell everyone is that we need a better mic.
So dumb.
Also, consider donating for better expo markers or command hooks. Because you have no idea how badly we need them.
Or a better life.
Oh.
What would you do if there's a child in front of you right now?
Yeet.
Deesh. Stiff arm him to the ground.
Oh my god. I was going to say something and now I forget.
I'm sorry.
Oh no, you're fine.
Another thing I kind of wanted to touch on is I made a list of the dysfunctional relationship moments between Bella and Edward already.
I was about to say who, because I feel like Bella just has a list of dysfunctional relationships.
Every relationship she has is pretty dysfunctional.
What's the common denominator?
Yeah, really.
You bitch.
White J's, white Porsche.
Seek therapy.
Oh my god, Ronnie.
Why do you say things like that?
She was singing the song.
Because I said you itch, and I said white J's,
I
white
don't
Porsche.
like it.
Stop.
You guys are so sensitive.
I know.
Oh my god.
But not to shit on Bella and Edward more, but on page 246. Let's see. One of them says...
I also have a note for 246, but it's the dumbest note I think I've ever taken.
Okay, I'm gonna hear yours first.
I'm sorry, no, go ahead.
Okay, they're talking about something, and she says, I waited for the pain, or for the fear to come, but all I could seem to feel was an ache for his pain. So I think this was, like, after they had gotten, like, a little bit too close, and Edward kind of freaked out a little bit, and, like, vampire sprinted away across the field.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
She was like, what did I do wrong?
Wait, that's in the next chapter.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not sure exactly what's going on here, and I can't be bothered to figure it out. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I just felt like that quote, I waited for the fear to come, but all I could seem to feel was an ache for his pain, just felt like, why are you...
Isn't that when they're talking at the lunch table, and he was saying how his family doesn't approve?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
someone's staring at them.
Yeah.
Rosalie.
And... boy, that just doesn't sit right with me. I don't know exactly why that is, but that just... it seems wrong to, like, bury your own emotions for someone else's.
Mm-hmm.
What was your note for this page?
It's literally one of the dumbest things I've ever written down. So at the bottom of 246, this is like the first time. I'm sorry, I have the hiccups. That. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. Excuse my acid reflux. All right. This is like the first time that Bella really interacts with Alice. Not even really, just like is in the same vicinity as her. But Alice pops up and says, like, is getting ready to be like, you ready to go? But Bella describes Alice. She goes, Alice, her short, inky hair and a halo of spiky disarray around her exquisite elfin face. When I first read this, because I was reading super fast, Alice, her short, inky hair and a halo of spiky disarray around her exquisite effing face. I was like, damn! Like, I thought she was, like, going off, like, pissed off, and then I was like, what the fuck?
It is the crazy thing about that. The crazy thing about that is that since Bella says things like, holy crow, I could totally see her just, like, casually saying effin' for no reason.
But that just is so much more amusing to me, like,
yeah,
a spiky disarray around her exquisite effin' face. But, on the other hand, what is elfin?
Elf-like?
Like
Elf-like?
Yeah. Like, I'm getting, like, Tinkerbell vibes.
Yeah,
Oh,
Tinkerbell.
That
for
makes...
sure.
Because I was thinking more like a garden gnome. And I was like, that's not a compliment.
Rude. The only thing that I really like noted in this chapter was that she was wearing a barrette in her hair.
Oh, I hate that.
I was like, I haven't worn a barrette since I was
Where
like 3.
did she wear it?
I don't know. Like, she just takes like end of her hair.
Well, she's probably using it like a curtain clip, right? Because her hair is a curtain.
Bangs out of her face.
Yeah, that's what I was
Probably
hoping that
just
she
some
meant.
stupid, like, right in the middle of her goddamn head.
Like she like takes it, just like a little. Oh, you know what I'm talking about when they take their hair and they clip it. And it's just like a big, like it's not like a ponytail, but it still lays on the head. But it's just like a big this much hair. Like
Yes,
back.
I know exactly what you're saying. With those nasty ass, like, they almost look like industrial paper clips.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The little pinchy thingies are like super long.
Yes, and they like
Fat pinchers.
spring.
Yeah.
I didn't know that these hair clips were so hated.
They're not hated, but they're so like 90s style.
I'm picturing Lord of the Rings.
That makes no sense to me, but okay.
It's just, I think what I'm so upset about, it's not even like wear a beret. I don't give a fuck. But she's supposed to be this super desirable person that everyone is drawn to somehow magically.
Yeah.
And this bitch is wearing a beret in her hair.
Yeah.
Kill yourself.
Got picked up.
I said drill yourself.
I don't know if that's much better.
Like drill, like go over drills and stuff, and like drill yourself, like push yourself, go over drills to better yourself.
Definitely wasn't thinking that. So.
To be belt engaged.
All right.
I'm sorry. I do apologize for that.
Yeah, my bad.
No, it's...
I only have 2 other notes for this entire chapter.
I have more moments where I felt like the relationship reveals its dysfunctional nature, and I also have a couple of questions about the relationship, but otherwise I don't have any more notes either.
Okay.
I feel like the overview pretty much...
Nailed it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, can I just make my 2 little ones,
Yeah.
and then we'll go in on yours?
Sure.
So, on page 239, kind of at the beginning. So, this is when Billy and Jacob are still there. And Jacob and Bella are talking in the kitchen, and she kind of finds out that this is kind of like a mini reunion between Billy and Charlie, because the last time they saw each other, Billy was kind of speaking ill of the Cullen family, and Charlie really chewed him out for it.
Yeah.
And I think something I really miss in the movies is like Charlie really defending the Cullen family. Mm-hmm. When anyone speaks like poorly of them, even towards his best friend Billy.
Yeah.
Which is kind of huge, because like his whole perspective in the book is like the Cullens have never done anything wrong. Like they keep to themselves. You know, the dad is like an amazing doctor. There's nothing wrong with like him wanting to help people, blah blah blah. So I don't know. I just kind of miss that in the movies.
For sure. I'm really, the more I think about it, the more confused I am at why Bella doesn't say that she like doesn't even really mention Edward at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like, why not? Because if there's, I mean, what better person to talk to about the Cullen family than seemingly the only person in town who...
Sorry, no. Do you hear my stomach?
No.
Sorry, go ahead.
I don't know. Just like, it just seems so pointless why she's trying to hide it so hard.
Right. So that was my one note, and the other is another really stupid one. On page 240, where after Billy and Jacob leave, Charlie is just trying to catch up with Bella after the day. Like, how's your day? What happened? You know, being a dad. And for some fucking reason, Bella dreads Jim so much. Like, hates Jim, is so uncoordinated. And for some reason just decides to say the only thing about her day, they won 4 badminton games that she didn't even participate in.
Yeah.
I don't know why that bothered me, but like... Is she just like so going out of her way to avoid talking about Edward that she's bringing up bullshit that she knows her dad's going to be like, okay.
Yeah.
Like,
And
right. I don't know. That was just weird to me. Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, I feel that.
So.
It just, then that goes back to, I feel like what we were talking about earlier with Bella just kind of denying Charlie a chance at, like, friendship or, like, a normal father-daughter relationship.
Right.
For no reason.
Yeah.
That, like, it kind of stings, honestly, to read that.
Right.
But I don't know. I have more roasting to do if you're here for it.
I am,
Yes.
but can we pause for just a second? I have to use the restroom. We're back.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
I all the way don't remember, but we can return to my dysfunctional relationship list.
Okay, yeah. I think we were about to go into your last notes, Maya.
Okay. On 248, at one point, Bella says, because there was nothing more terrifying to me, more excruciating than the thought of turning away from him. It was an impossibility. And that, I mean, like, I get that this is, like, a crush, and, like, crushes can feel really intense sometimes, but also, like, impossibility. Excruciating.
Mm-hmm.
You don't even know him. Wait a second.
Who are you?
Right.
I mean, we've been saying that this whole book. Like,
Yeah.
you don't even know him. So, to be fair, she mildly knows him.
She mildly knows him, but, like...
But still not enough to be, like, balls deep in him, you know what I mean?
She wasn't even in the knowing him phase, like knowing him phase, or like mid-knowing him phase when she declared her love, so...
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it's just, like, complete infatuation, and it's not even, like, because of anything he did. It's, like, low-key just because of how he looks and smells. So, that's just my personal opinion. And then on 249, I said the truck thing is a little freaky. The way that he, like...
Leaves it there.
Yeah. Like, how did he manage to do that? We already touched on this a little bit. Like, he probably sniffed some stuff that he shouldn't have sniffed.
I mean, they address it in, like, a later chapter. He
Really?
broke in and got her keys.
And they were in her dirty pants?
Mabes.
I said, I guess you're gonna miss the panty raid.
Ew. Did you just say Mabes?
Mabes.
All right.
Does that
I'll
bother
make a
you?
note of that. And then on 251, I said, I can't really read my handwriting.
Good.
Oh, the cough medicine.
Oh, to go to sleep?
Yeah.
I
Bitch, you're
mean,
crazy.
I can't say I haven't done that.
I have never done
to
that.
sleep?
I've taken Benadryl to go to sleep.
Well, maybe. But I haven't been on stick either. It was just FML.
I've taken way more hardcore drugs to go to sleep, so...
If you want to know what those
But-
drugs are, hit us up at my...
But I mean, like, her reasoning is lame as hell.
Yeah. It's kind of gross.
Yeah.
And, like, all this for a boy, I don't know. And they're not even holding hands at this stage.
I wrote that down.
Yeah.
And, like, he could, like, awkwardly caress her face, but he can't, like, give her a hug. Or
Yeah.
they can't hold hands.
That's so weird to me, but go off.
It's still beyond me.
And then 255, Edward, pissed Bella didn't tell anyone that they were together.
Mm-hmm.
As insurance for him to not kill her.
If you don't want
Okay.
to die, tell people where you're at.
I feel like that was a really weird way to put that,
Yeah.
but I get where he's coming from. I mean, he's continuously trying to, like, push her away
Yeah.
because he is, like, super dangerous for her. And although he's totally into her, he knows that he's not good for her, and he's really trying to fight that, but at the same time, he's tired of fighting it. So, I don't know. I don't even know if this can be justified, but...
I mean, I guess if you, like, take the story on its own terms, I guess it kind of makes sense, but also, like, I don't know, I just really didn't like that, and then how mad he gets at her is what really got me.
Well, that's another thing we've talked about before is there's no, like, 5. He's only at 0 or 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's kind of stupid, but I don't know. I'm trying to think of a better way to word that.
As we were saying, we've been talking about how he's like, sorry. We've been talking about like how he's dangerous and all that stuff, and I think it was more like him getting pissed off was because she sort of had no concern for her own well-being, and he was like so trusting in him when he's told her, like when he has told her like many times that he is dangerous, and like he's like fighting his instinct, and that was just, I think that was just more her telling someone where she's at was just more insurance for him not to give in to his instinct. And like when she didn't do that, they're going to be alone by themselves, no witnesses at all, and like him and this urge, it's like he was just trying to protect her, but she just doesn't care that much for her own well-being because she's so focused on hanging out with him.
That makes more sense, because he's always afraid that he's going to lose that control, even though that's what he's constantly working on. I mean, he even explained it in one of the past chapters where he doesn't want her to see him hunt because when they hunt, they just, like, give themselves over to that natural instinct. And that natural instinct is what he's always trying to fight when he's around Bella. So, for her to just, like, not give a fuck at all about her own well-being, like you said, I gotta stop listening to myself. This is really messing up. I'm sorry. But, no, I totally understand what you're saying there.
Yeah. I guess I get it, really, ultimately, but
it's weird how it's said.
It's weird how he says it. Yeah, and just that was what really got me. And then my last thing is Edward seems like after we kind of have gotten to know him quite a lot more in the last, like, maybe 3 chapters or so than ever before, really, in the book. And it seems like he spends a lot of his time outside. Yeah. And, like, nature is pretty important to him. And yet he chose Bella, the least outdoorsy, least coordinated person ever. And that, I just don't like that.
But claims to love Arizona, and her reasons for loving Arizona were all, like, environment-based.
Yeah.
In the last chapter, you remember that?
Yeah.
Like, she likes the color brown because it's the color of dirt and trees and all things outdoors, but, like, she trips on air.
Boy, that seems like a joke, because if her favorite color was, like, whatever because of nature, like, I know, I get that Arizona is different than most places, but, like, typically people say green.
Yeah. But I mean, Forks is green.
Yeah.
So I think that she's just, again, Stephenie Meyer is trying to, like, make Bella that, like, polar.
Yeah.
Make those 2 polar opposite Bellas, you know?
Yeah, that's
kind
never
of broken, but
I'm never gonna be like, I'm never gonna understand that, but that's fine.
I never understood, like, I know this is, like, tipping ahead, but, like, how, like, she lacks all coordination and stuff like that. Why does none of that transfer over when she turns into a vampire? Like, when she's, like, speedy running through the forest.
Because they're perfect.
I understand that, but I feel like it would have been more realistic if she would have, like, gone in, she, like, starts running, and she, like, trips over, like, a log.
Yeah.
Fuck!
Like, I'm just learning.
I would be so weak. Because it's like all the other newborns are, like, clumsy when they first come about.
Are they?
Like, when the one guy is...
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're still, like, they have to, like, get their bearings and learn how to do stuff. She was just like, I got it.
But that's another thing that Stephenie Meyer could have gone so deep on. Like, what makes her so special as a human and as an immortal? Like, right. She's this shield. She's this, everyone's in awe of her. Like, is it Emmett that says, like, I don't even think she is a newborn, blah, 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 but because she has so much self-control and all this bullshit, and it's like,
okay, but
why? Yeah, why?
That is so disappointing because I think that's what I love about Twilight is like those potential moments for
yeah.
more. I just punched my book.
Because they are really interesting.
Yeah, and then it just falls so flat. But maybe in rereading I will get more of that. That's pretty much the rest of the notes that I have, so.
Damn it, Tyree.
What would you do?
What?
Have you seen the group chat?
I didn't do anything.
I sent those.
That was, why did it, it popped up as Tyree, I'm sorry.
I liked the messages.
I'm sorry. Damn it, Maya. The brown rock coming from the chicken's ass. Cute.
Okay.
For those listening, we have a group chat that is exclusively to share memes. And,
that's not all it's for.
well, it was originally to talk about work.
Was it ever really to talk about work?
No.
Well, we had one to talk about work, and then...
I think that was one with Andy in it.
Yeah.
Like, that one was primarily work-related stuff.
I
But
miss
then one
her.
time she sent a meme about the milkshakes. I would never
Right.
forget that.
Okay.
R.I.P. Andy.
Are we done?
Yeah, I feel like it, because there's really not much to touch on anymore.
Not to be like, I'm done with this, but this chapter was just like kind of a filler. Yeah.
The only thing that I didn't like is when they were talking, when she was like describing the meadow, and she described the sun as buttery sunshine.
Oh, what?
Yeah. I put
Buttery?
Buttery sunshine, and I put vomit right next to it.
I think buttery might be my least favorite descriptive term ever.
I don't like savory.
Well, like, I like savory. But buttery, like, have you ever tried Chardonnay? Mm-hmm. The white wine? Mm-hmm. That's considered a buttery wine.
That's fucking disgusting.
Thank you. Does anybody want, like, wine is amazing, but whenever I taste Chardonnay, all I think is buttery, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna throw up.
Well, now I just keep thinking Big Meaty Claw from SpongeBob. So.
Well, alrighty then. Alright, are we all done, buddies?
I believe so.
Maya?
That's all I got.
Alright.
Ready
Well, we
geek
really
for
tried,
next
guys. This was a little bit more of a difficult chapter, but we did it. We're here. It's actually a decently long episode.
How long is it?
It's only 47, but that's pretty medium.
That's more than I thought we would get through.
Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
thinking solid like 25.
Yeah.
I know. Same. But yeah, as always, thank you for listening. Hit us up at mytwilightfantasypodcast@gmail.com with any of your thoughts on our episodes. Tell us what you like, what you don't like, what you want to see more of, or just to talk with us. We like interacting with people. And we've been talking a lot to people on our Instagram at mytwilightfantasy. That's been really fun. And on our Instagram, if you go to our bio, the link in our bio goes to our website, which has the link to all of our other social medias, as well as every way you can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, iTunes. And for those who do listen to iTunes, it would be greatly appreciated if you gave us a rating and review on there. It would really help us out. And to also just give us some feedback. But is that everything?
I think so.
I believe so.
All right. Well, with that,
Peace.
Love.
and Twilight.
Bye.
Bye.